So I'm going to beat Soulsilver only using second types. Footage corrector where I replace Drowsy as my starter, just because, you know, it's an early second type I can get, and it's better than Slowpoke, in my opinion. Alright, Elder Lee is confusion. So yeah. Faulkner time after this. I had to grind up between Faulkner and Elder Lee, or Elder Lee and Faulkner I should say. I grinded up Pedo, which I named my Drowsy, which this sprite is kind of fitting it honestly. Level 15, learn Headbutt. I used a Headbutt on the Pidgeotto to do some damage. I went for some confusions. I skipped a Pidgey because it only could take one confusion. One more confusion on the Pidgeotto after that, and instead Proton time. But since he uses poison types, fusions take both his Pokemon out in one shot. Next up, I could just Slowpoke. So no psychic type only run. Action. Next up is the rival fight. I turn Slowpoke up, off, and a confusion takes out his Ghastly. I switch over to what's his name? Drowsy for my game for Bailey. I use Hypnosis to put it to sleep. And then I start using confusions to put up a Reflect. A few confusions later, I took it out while I was still asleep. Last up is a Zubat, which also went down to one confusion. So yeah, next up is a dreaded Bugsy fight. So the Bugsy fight. It's harder in this game because he leads off with his Scyther and U-turns every time. So I go for Hypnosis as he goes for Focus Energy, and I actually luckily put it to sleep. Then I start going for Headbutts. My goal is not to take it out, but just do enough to where it'll want to heal. Well, it'll want to. For us, to take it out, but I get into red, don't kill it, you make use of his berry though, so that's good. Then he heals up to full. I use Headbutt one more time to bring it down to a little over half. Then I switch to Slowpoke as Drowsy Fangs. I put up 6 curses, and I'm gonna skip that to get the Metal Bond. So I was just going for Leer to lower my defense, and I start using tackles. One more, he goes for 2 Leers. Now outside I was gonna try to go for Energy Crit. One more tackle, and there goes the Scyther. Last up, it is Kakuna, which is Kakuna. It only takes 2 tackles. And there you go, that's probably the hardest time I ever had with Bugsy. And I've done Meganium only runs in this game. I've had easier times with Bugsy. After defeating Bugsy, I caught an Execute. And now it's time for the Whitney fight. Alright, so Whitney, I have a plan. We just need some faith, some money, some goddamn faith. Nah. So what I did was, I used Leech Seed on Clefairy, and Clefairy used Encore on me. So I swapped out to my Slowpoke. I call him Blue, by the way, because for me, his Executor is always the most standout. Growing up. So I swapped out to Slowpoke, and after, Confusion take down, bring it to red health, she healed. And then some more Confusions, and I beat her Clefairy. Then I swapped back out to my Executor for a Miltank. Set up a Reflect. I set up Leech Seed. Then I set up a Reflect. Alright. So after I Executor back out, call him back after I set up the Leech Seed and Reflect, and I come back out. And as he's stomp on my Drowsy. I set up Leech Seed because Miltank's tanky. I tried going for Hypnosis, but I get flinched, and the Reflect wore off. So I started going with pocket damage because it's a Leech Seed plus Confusions. When I do hit, I do quite a bit. And since Pedo's a girl, and so it kind of was all guys do, guy Pedos do, she can't get attracted. So some more Confusions and Leech Seed, and I beat Whitney. Rival. Actually, no, I'm gonna catch my next Pokemon next. I caught Giraffare at Route 43, and now let's go fight a rival. So, Giraffare, I love it. It's normal Psychic type. That means it can't get hit by Ghost moves, so I need to Dark and Bug. And I'm already past the Bug part of the game, so Dark's something I have to worry about. One Psybeam took out the Ghastly. Same thing with the Zubat. And then after a while, after some Synthesis hijinks, and a Strength, I take out the Meganium. Bailey. Fuck, I'm getting ahead of myself. You use Strength. Since it has low defense, it goes for Reflect, so I use a Psybeam to get a crit and kill it. Nice. Last up is Magnemite, which few side beams, took it out. I got paralyzed in the process, but nothing too risky. Okay, by the way, keep this in mind, I'm about to fight Morty because I just took out his Magnemite. Girafare's part normal. He can't get hit by ghosts. And Morty, his Gengar, his only move that can hit me is Sucker Punch. And Sucker. Well, it does damage, but he's telling me with Hypnosis and Beam Up, but whatever. Ghastly, Side Beam. First Haunter. I'm not gonna edit it. I'm not gonna cut it. I'm just gonna show you this full unedited clip here about this Morty fight. Like, if you're having trouble with Morty, go to Route 43 to the right. Like, go through the Mount Moon. No, that's whatever that mountain's called to the right of Ecruteak. And go to Route 43. Catch a Girafarig. Then just get its side beam. It'll be great. Here comes a Gengar. Side beam. Critical hit. I don't know if crit matter. Maybe. Who knows? Killed it. Last up is this Haunter, but like at the first Haunter, one side beam. Alright, well, I'll see you on a bit. I have a lot to do. I have a lot of backtracking to do, and you'll see me catch you next time. So I catch myself a Xatu. Now, time for the Usain bite. Try taking out all the light. Alright, that was Xatu evolved into Natsu, and Hypno evolved into, no, Drowsy evolved into Hypno. I'm not bad. Alright, Drowsy goes out to a few Shadow Balls. I taught Cyberb is what I called my Xatu, Shadow Ball and Pluck. And then this fucking Electrode hits 3 Thunders a fucking row and I miss a Hypnosis. My luck, right? Does this motherfucker have Compound Eyes? Seriously. Can someone explain that? This Electrode hits all of its Thunders. And it paralyzes my Tibite. Alright. I named it Tibite because tail can bite, because his tail can bite people. Alright, Haunter, Shadow Balls for my Xatu, killed it. Next up is, well, what y'all can assume to be probably one of the easiest gym battles I'll ever have. No. Not really. I mean, it wasn't hard to say, but this motherfucker Primate kept using Double Team, and I couldn't hit my Plucks. And then, I hit it once, then it goes for a Leer, I miss. Then I try to go for another Pluck, uses Rock Slide and one-shots me. And so I sent out to bite and use a Side Beam while I was going for Focus Punch. Now I'm also about to speed this next part up a lot, 'cause I'm about to show you the power of Executes against the Polygraph. So no, I'm 4 levels under it. So I go for a Leech Seed stall. As it goes for Surf, not doing too much. I go for Leech Seed, start seeing this up. I went for Sunspore, then I went for Reflect. And then I start going for Confusion, which is super effective, and well, you see now, with the Reflect plus that, he can't do anything to me. And boom, that's Chuck. Team Rocket Petrol. I don't feel confident taking on Jasmine yet, so I'm gonna do this first. Yeah, since he's using Poison types. Side Beam, Side Beam, Side Beam. Eradicate took a few Side Beams, but nothing in particular. Nothing too great in particular. Alright, next up is... Well, Blast up is his Cough Gamut. One last Side Beam. Next up is the Ariana Dolo team fight, but I'm just gonna skip to the end of it because it's literally just me using Side Beam on Poison types and Lane's Dragonite spamming Fly. Ain't no one had time for that shit. Alright, this is the end of it. I used Strength on the last on the Drowsy and I took it out. Then I used Side Beam on the Grimer. That's all she wrote. Next up is Jasmine, I think. Yeah, because I did a lot of grinding. I grinded all my Pokemon up to level 35 to match it. I used Hypnosis, and I used Focus Punch, which got the TM from Chuck. Go for another Hypnosis, I hit it, and then I went for one last Focus Punch. Side Beamed the Seal because I thought it had Snore, but I guess I used Focus Punch to bring it down to 75, and I used one Side Beam. Put Pills on the Sleep as well. Focus Punch. It healed. I used another Focus Punch and it killed it. Last up is this Dugong. Let's do this all up just because it's really the same thing. He uses a Full Restore. Like, I didn't know he had that. You only have potions. He used Side Beams. I'm using it. He just has Sleep Talk. I don't want to go for Focus Punch, but since it always is for Sleep Talk, every time you want to wait. Alright, Rocket Boss. Not Boss. Executive Petrol. I'm just going to speed this up because, Side Beam, Side Beam, Side Beam, Side Beam, Side Beam, Side Beam, Side Beam. Not really entertaining when he has all coughings and wheezings. I don't know what happened to his Eradicate. Did I pull Red and kill his Eradicate? That's gonna be a fun fight later on, Red. Oh yeah, while I'm recording this, I just got done grinding for Claire, so I'm just literally chilling, waiting for Gina to call me saying, hey, I found a Leaf Stone. So I'm trying to, my Execute's ready to evolve. Yeah, you'll see that in a bit. Since I record these in sections. Alright, well, there go. By the way, we're on we're on Silver right now. That's where we're at. So his Golden went under a few Shadow Balls. His Sneasel was a bitch. Oh, I got something now for you later, Sneasel. That's for later. So Sneasel takes out a good portion of my team. I go for Strength, then it switches to Haunter. That's just doing Strength. Simon took out Haunter. Fuck's sake. I leveled to 37, where I learned Psychic. Yay, my first Pokemon knows Psychic. It's only its lowest level. If I went with Espeon as my final Pokemon, that bitch was learn Psychic like level 67 or some shit. It's like, I guess I would have that for Red, because I probably train my Pokemon to the... Actually, I mean, I beat Red with a team of 60s, but I also used items, and I'm trying not to use items. Like, it's not a restriction I put on myself. But I don't know why I'm talking about Red right now. I guess this fight's nothing interesting. You just watch me get wrecked by a Sneasel. I don't know. Also, I'm probably gonna go look for a mic soon. So, you know, and maybe a capture card so I can start doing other shit besides, you know, Pokemon challenges. But then, let's plays, but whatever. Well, that's for later. Alright. Alright, well, it was beginning of my Rocket get killed by my Slowpoke. But now we're at the Rocket Hide. Now we're fighting Proton again. Psybeam. Skullbat surprisingly lived, which is, you know what? Fair enough. And then his Weezing. That's sad, 'cause I just watched the episode of the anime where Jesse and James released their Weezing in Arbok to protect them for the poacher. Alright, here's Grande. Insert Manchester joke I made in the Chin Chat video. Yeah, wasn't that like my 2 videos ago? So I'm already doing another Heart Gold challenge. Whatever. I'll do. I don't know, it's just that Leaf Green's been a bitch right now for me to work. Honestly, I guys think what to do in Leaf Green. It's like, you know what? Psychic types, Heart Gold. One of my favorite types and one of my favorite games. I don't know why I said Heart Gold, I'm playing Soulsilver. Revival goes down to a Psybeam. I used Headbutt on accident, but I got flinched, and a Psybeam killed it. Now here's a real bitch. Rocket Boss Archie. Is that his name, Archie? Yeah, I think so. I don't know, honestly. It's some A. Because you have Maxie from Magma. Is it in... I can't remember the boss of Team Aqua right now. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, even though I'm having a challenge going up. Like, the next challenge going up, like, it'll be over the time you see this one. Like, the last one is in Pokemon Emerald. Where we're at. But whatever. I use Hypnosis on the Houndoom and go for Focus Punch. Hypnosis, Focus Punch, a beautiful combo. I'm really glad I taught Focus Punch. Alright, so last one, his last coughing, just didn't want to do it. Went down to a Psyche with Giraffe Rig, or Alright, now I caught Jinx at the very end. See ya. So it's Claire, I guess. Alright, time to fight Claire. She pursues a Gyarados, and I leave Giraffe Rig. I leave a Giraffe Rig because my Giraffe Rig knows Thunder. So I go for it, and I hit, killing the Gyarados. Next up, the Dragonair, but now I swap to my Jinx. Still haven't gotten the Leaf Stone yet, by the way. I don't know what's taking Gina so damn long. I might just start another challenge and get it done. Let's see. I have another few days, so I could probably, before next time I go up. I want to try to upload it every 2 days. I could probably do something in the meantime. No. Dragonair do it on 1 Ice Beam. I stun Spore for Kingdra and I hit it with the Leech Seed with my Execute. Then I swapped to Slowbro because I think it'll probably tank the best. And I try to go for some Headbutts to Power Flinch, but she smoke screened me so I can't hit every time. Then after a while, she finally went down. Alright, time for the rival fight. Yeah, I'm skipping the Komodo girls. Might not do Kanto just because I don't feel like doing Kanto again. Alright, I use the Sneasel, almost kill it, then I go out to my Jinx, because my Jinx knows Focus Blast. Then it goes for Icy Wind. Then it goes for a Fan Attack, barely kill it, barely not taking it out, go for a Focus Blast, and there goes the Sneasel. Next up is his Magneton, and I stay in and I go for another Focus Blast. And I actually hit twice in a row, which is actually nice. Alright, Skullbat went down to a few Sidekicks, but not after me hurting myself in Fusion. And last up is his Meganium. Well, not last up, one of the last ups. I try to go for Psychic if I hit myself, as he goes for Reflect. I break the Confusion time to a Psychic, doing about 4, so I sort of swapped over to my Xatu, used Future Sight, then I went for Fly to delay the Reflect. The Reflect wore off right before the Reflect wore off after this turn. As Meganium assist. I hit doing 3/4 about, and then it uses Petal Dance on me, not doing too much. And then the Future Sight takes a toll and kills a Meganium. Next up's the Elite Four, then I'm done with this challenge. Yeah, sorry, I don't feel like doing Kanto today. I might not even get Executor because it's taking too damn long. Elite Four time. First up is Will. He uses Xatu, so I'll leave with my Xatu. I Shadow Ball his, bringing his down to about a quarter. He uses Psychic. Fucking jealous. He's gonna Shadow Ball, take it out. Next up is his Jinx. I decided to stay in after a while. Now I switched over to, Slowbro, because Slowbro knows Fire Blast, and that's what I use. I take out the Jinx. And I barely take the Jinx. I go for a Strength. I go for a Headbutt Element to break it out of that. Bring it into the knockout range for Fire Blast, and I take it out. Next up is his other Xatu, which I switched into Giraffe Rig, so I can use Thunder for no other reason. I'll say the Jinx probably would have been better switch, but since Giraffe Rig hits itself, so yeah, that's great. Thunder doesn't take it out. He eats a berry. Go for another Thunder. Goes for Air Race, and I hit myself again, and it takes me out with my Air Race. Oh my god, I have the worst confusion luck. So now Jinx, like I said before, go for Ice Beam to the Xatu. Next up is his Executor, fucking jealous. I'm gonna go for another Ice Beam. And then his last up for him is a Slowbro. I send out my Execute to plant a Leech Seed and to paralyze it. Yeah. You're gonna see me doing that later too with another Pokemon in Elite Four. Alright. After a while stalling, I switch over to Cyber to start plundering it with Shadow Balls as it's getting drained. I bring it down to red health, but then it uses a full restore. Still, Leech Seed's still there though, so I still get the Leech Seed bonus, and Paralyzation doesn't really matter, so I'm always faster. So it would be nice to be him to hit sometimes, but he can't have me back anyway. A few more Shadow Balls, and the Leech Seed draining it out, and there goes the Slowbro. Next up, Koga. It's kind of funny how Koga went from being a really strong gym leader in Gen 1 to probably the weakest Elite 4 member in Gen 2. Oh well. Alright. I used Fly on his Ariados to kill it, then I switched over to Slowbro. I forgot to heal that one between fights. To kill his Fortress with Fire Blast. It's this 4 times resisted. No, it's a 4 times effective, it dies. I stay in and I use Zen Headbutt. It misses a gunk shot. I luckily one-shot it. The crit. Crit mattered. I had to do this fight again. Koga goes for Wing Tech. I go for Zen Headbutt to do some damage. I do about a half. It eats a berry. I go for another Zen Headbutt just because, you know, might as well get a clean switch and still as damage as I can. Start the Jinx, get poisoned, use Wing Attack, brings down under half, use Ice Beam, and I take it out. Next up is his Venomoth, where I just went with just Brute Force, hit an Ice Beam on it, just so I can do as much damage as I can as he has Psychic, taking Jinx out with a crit. I don't think crit mattered, honestly. I send out Pedo. We haven't really seen much Pedo lately. He uses Psychic, and I go for Psybeam, taking out his Venomoth. Next up is Karen. This is Brunoman, sorry. So I lead with Slowbro, it goes for Dig. So I miss Zen Headbutt. Go for Zen Head, then I go for another one. Bring it down to another half. I outspeed it. I guess I went for counter this time. And then I kill it with another Zen Headbutt. Hitmonchan uses Thunder Punch. I decided to just sack Slowbro, just so I can do as much damage with as I can. Slowbro goes down. Next up is Giraffe Rig, which I just finished off the Strength. Next up is Hitmonlee. I go for Psychic. First much chance I can. He goes for Focus Energy. I bring it down to about a quarter. Uses Swagger on a Confusion, my weakness. And I hit myself. And he goes for High Jump Kick and move Clashes. So you know what? That was lucky. And I break through Confusion, but there's no target to hit. Last Machamps next. It hits me with a Cross. I use Psychic, bringing it down to about a half. Lower Special Defense, eats a berry, goes for Cross Chop, taking out Giraffe Rig since I don't resist it. So I'm a normal type for normal. Next, I send out my Pito, aka Hypno, go for Psybeam, bring it down to red health, and uses Rock Slide on me. Bring me to about 65%. Bruno uses a full restore, and I go for another Psybeam. This is really delayed, but fuck it. So Bronchamp goes after Rochambeauing it with a bunch of Psybeams. And last up, I think that, I don't know, honestly, the video's lagging, so I'm just like commentating live. Oh well. Machamps. Last up is his Onyx, which goes down pretty easily. Karen was a bitch. I'd have played a Leech Seed on her, though. Karen defeated me twice. This fucking sucks, man. No. Alright, after the Umbreon got seeded, I swapped over to Jinx to hit a Focus Blast, and I actually hit it, which is nice. I take it out. So you know what? Good job, Jinx. I'm proud of you. Next up is her Houndoom, and I switch over to Slowbro. He goes for Dark Pulse, almost kills. It brings me to 2 health, and I use Surf, taking out the Houndoom in 1 shot. That was lucky. And that's probably our second hardest Pokemon besides our Umbreon. Next up is our Vileplume. I switch over to my Cyber to go for some Flies. So I'll go for Fly, bring down a red as it hits me with a Stun Spore, paralyzing me. Synchronoise paralyzes it back, and then now we go for Shadow Ball to get into knockout range, and switches to Murkrow. After I get a paralysis, because I don't feel good paralysis. Alright, now it's still Murkrow. I switch over to let's say I just use Fly, use as much damage as I can, either take it out or just have it take me out. So I'm gonna switch over to Hypno, try to do some damage with Headbutt, but Hypno's attack fucking sucks, or I just have that nature. Murkrow takes out 2 pain attacks, it's faster. Last up is I sent out Giraffe Rig to finish it off with Strength. And in comparison to Gengar, I use Psychic as he goes for Spite. I go for another Psychic as he goes for Destiny Bond. I take out Gengar, but Giraffe Rig goes down with him. Last up is his Vileplume, which just knocked out 1 Ice Beam. Next up, Dragon Champion Lance. Alright, time to battle Champion Lance. Go for Thunder since it's 4 times effective, but it survives at red HP. Goes for Waterfall, bringing Giraffe Rig under half. I go for Strength to knock him KO zone for no Thunder, but luck be a bitch because I miss and hit. Well, whatever, send the act to see what he expects. I did the Bane for a bit. I send out Zatsu to hit with a huge Shadow Balls, trying to get some damage. Uses Ice Fang, and then I just decided to go for a Future Sight, since I know Zatsu's going down here. Next up is Jinx. Since I got the switch D-drop, I go for Ice Beam, bring it to red health, and get for Waterfall. And then I switch out since I'm at 5 health on 1 Jinx for the Dragonites. Swap over to Execute to tank so it hits, and the Future Sight takes out Gyarados. He sends out his Charizard next, and I decided to sack off Execute to heal up Jinx for the Dragonites. One Air Slash takes it out. Next, I send out my Slowbro. I accidentally go for Headbutt, do some damage, and I use Surf as Charizard goes for Shadow Ball. I one-shot the Charizard. Next up is one of his Dragonites. I'll swap over the Jinx, and I go for it. And I use an Ice Beam. Ice Beam takes out the Dragonite in 1 shot, because 4 times effective. Next up is Aerodactyl. Swap back out to Slowbro, and I go for Surf, taking it out in 1 shot. After I get hit with a Crunch and bring it down to 6 health. Alright, next up is the other 2 Dragonites. So I go for Ice Beam, level 49. You never realize how fast Jinx is. My Jinx is faster than all of Lance's Dragonites. One last Ice Beam took out his Dragonite, and I'm the champion. So it is possible to beat this game only using Psychic types.